We've got something really special to show you today. I'm back at Yacht, and the boat behind me is a Brabus 900 Shadow. And when you normally hear the word or you hear the name Brabus, you think of off the chain performance, Mercedes-Benz, Porsches. But what some people don't know is that Brabus have a marine division, and they do some spectacular things in their partnership with Axopar boats. And I'm here to take you through one of these magnificent boats today. Now, the 900 Shadow that we're looking at today comes in three different variants. One is the cross cabin, that's what we're looking at here. It's also available in like a T-top, or what they call a sun top version, and also a completely open air version, which they call their Spider, which also looks particularly spectacular. If you know anything about Brabus, what you know is they take an already fantastic product and they just take levels of performance and luxury interiors and fit out to absolutely crazy levels. And so I think where we need to start is at the business end of this boat, and that's down by these two beasts. So with the 900 Shadow, the standard 350 horsepower Mercuries have been replaced by these twin 450 horsepower V8 bred, race-bred engines, giving this boat no less than 900 horsepower, do you mind? The next video up after this one is a video from me Yachts of this boat out in about a 2-meter swell out past the heads, churning through that swell at about 56 knots, really like a hot knife through butter. Absolutely stunning performance. So if you're into fast luxury performance, then you won't want to miss that video as well. As we step onto the rear deck, what you'll see is this beautiful glacier blue colour scheme that's carried on right throughout the boat. It really does pop. You can see we've got some of the exterior lights there. It's just magnificent. But what Brabus will do with this rear space is give you a variety of ways that you can configure. We're looking at the option of having a wet bar and a barbecue. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But you can also have this space completely clear. So if you want to use this for more fishing or even scuba diving, you can have a much larger space. You can have a small row of padded seating there. You can have a much larger sun lounge with some storage underneath it. And there's also the option to add a second cabin, which comes at the rear of the boat, and there's some side windows here. The other option you can have here is to replace the rails in front of us with a row of 3 seats. So you can make this back space, pretty flexible and configure it in the way that the owner wants. And of course, one of the hallmarks of Brabus is their high degree of customization for the needs of their customers. So let's take a look at the wet bar option that we've got here. It's a fantastic addition for a day boat, of course. It comes with a fantastic grill. We've got the standard sink in here with a pop-up tap. But there's also the inclusion here of refrigeration, so that if you want to chock this full of cold drinks, some food for the day, then you're certainly not going to miss out there. And as I said before, this particular boat's set up with the wet bar, but this could also be bench seating or a completely open space, or however the owner wants to configure it. As we move down the side here, we've got these fantastic grab rails, come up sort of waist height, so I really feel secure moving around the boat. And we come into what Brabus call the cross cabin, which is a fantastic space. And this is where you really start to notice the other hallmark of what Brabus do with their boats, which is amazing levels of fit and finish in terms of the materials that they use. And I'll just let you take in some of this as I sort of scan the camera around. This is top to toe high-end leather and top to toe with carbon fibre, which is all made inside the Brabus factory. Everything's done in-house. It is absolutely beautiful fit and finish. It probably doesn't do it justice on video, but this material here just feels so luxurious. And I mean, you can see where the money goes in the fit and finish with these boats. But inside the cabin, it's a really flexible layer. You've got this table here which you can swing open like thus, and as you pan around you can see what we've done here. There's 2 helm seats, But these helm seats can actually swivel around so that you've now got quite a good entertaining sort of social space. And I'll just bend down and demonstrate that for you. There we go. So as you can see, we've now got a social space, comfortably for, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 people at a pinch, and just a beautiful space to be in. The other thing you can see here is, whilst this is an enclosed cabin, it does have a sunroof which is retractable. And at the moment, I'm standing in here, and even though we're inside, there is an enormous amount of natural light that pours in here. You can see that I've opened up the side doors, which are huge side doors. So if you were out on the water, I can imagine just the amount of natural light and cross ventilation in here being absolutely fantastic. It just has this really luxurious vibe to it, and just feels completely top end. And now at the helm, this is where you really get a sense of the feeling that you get from sitting inside one of these boats. Let's just start with this steering wheel. The first thing I noticed was a little bit like a Rolls-Royce wheel. Every time you turn that wheel, that famous Brabus logo does not move. I mean, that is so cool. But everything can be controlled, almost everything can be controlled from the steering wheel. The left-hand side controls there, where I'm looking at, they'll control the trim of the boat. On the right-hand side here, you've got all of the controls for the stereo system in the boat, which Brabus upgrade, of course. This boat has, I think, 9 speakers, including 1 subwoofer, an upgraded 5-channel amplifier. I mean, it really is off the chart stuff. Some other things to take in here. I mean, it's just so beautiful the way this is done. Look at all this carbon fibre, by the way. I mean, this is all carbon fibre. This is all coming out of the Brabus factory, all made specifically by Brabus for this boat. Amazing stuff. We've got all of the controls here across the top here. We've got all of the different lighting controls. We've got different ambient controls here, exterior lights, under the boat lights, just an array of customization you can have for yourself. Really is awesome. And then some other controls here, of course, things like the bilge controls, horns, etc. But a couple of other things just to take note of this boat is this skyhook control. So if you're not familiar with skyhook, it takes advantage of satellite technology, and what it allows you to do is, if you need the boat to stay where it is and not move, whether the wind picks up, what the current's doing, the boat will adjust its own position automatically so that it is rock solid. So if you imagine you pull into a marina or a berth and you're running the boat single-handed, and you need to get people on and off, you can set this thing up and it will not move. It's just fantastic use of technology. Engine thrusters, of course, radio, all of the things that you'd expect. But just the way that Brabus pull all this together into a design. Okay, so let's move outside for a moment. I want to show you what this boat has to offer forward. And again, you get this beautiful level of luxury and finish. This colour, which I love this colour, this is called, I believe, Sunrise. There's a variety of different colour finishes you can have by Brabus. They'll colour match the boat to your liking. We've got, as you can see, we've got plenty of seating up here. You can actually configure this. There's a table that will go into place there, giving you a very, very nice socialising space at the front. You can see here we've got those speakers taking advantage of that fantastic stereo of the boat, and you will not be wanting for comfort. As you can see here, there's some very large panes of glass. I'll get to those in a minute. What I want to do is take you back down the side, back in through these huge doors, and show you what the day accommodation looks like. So with one little press of this button, I'll release a hatch, and we'll pop down and have a look at what you can use if you're out for the day, or maybe even slightly longer, on this boat. Now it's probably a little bit hard to just get across to you how it feels to be down here, but again, all of the finishes, all of the materials that have been used to finish off this boat just feel absolutely fantastic. It's got this beautiful ambient lighting, which by the way you can control, and it makes possible to have I think it's 6 or 7 different colors down here and different ambient lighting possibilities. It really is spectacular. You could be very comfortable down here, of course, if you wanted to, spend an evening. It's not a boat you'd, spend any more than, a night on. Of course, it's not really made for that. But have a look at the detail, even if you can just see this there, where that might normally just be some kind of plain material or webbing, or have a look at the craftsmanship and the stitching that goes into that. I mean, it is just every detail that Brabus put into a boat. Nothing is average, nothing is plain, everything is luxury, everything looks top end. That really is spectacular to be in here, and so much natural light. It's a surprise I want to show you at the end here, but I won't spoil that surprise just yet. Of course, any day boat you're going to need some convenience by way of a small head. Of course, this boat has that nice little lockable compartment in here, and again, like I said, it would have been quite easy just to leave that as some kind of plain detail, but not with these boats. Everything is just finished off to the highest spec possible. Really is spectacular. A little toilet room in there, and of course a little sink so you can keep yourself nice and tidy. Some little retractable hooks up here for hanging hand towels and whatever it you might need. But for a 37-foot day boat, I mean, the spec in here, it really is just next level. But what else would you expect from a company like Brabus? Okay, so I did say there was one other surprise I wanted to share with you about this boat, and I mean, for me it is so cool, and that is right here. With the press of one button, we can activate and completely open up these gull style doors. Let me come out so you can see what this looks like. There we go. I mean, have a look at those. They are right out of that classic Mercedes-Benz looking design. Beautiful design, but of course functional. It means that if you're staying on board, or you just want to get out of the sun and the weather for a moment, you can get so much natural light, so much ventilation into that cabin. It really is just a fantastic design feature, and I can see why this boat won so many prestigious design awards. Let me just close that back up, and I'm going to spin around and head back into this beautiful cabin. So now that is the Brabus 900 Shadow in this closed cabin or cross cabin configuration. This is just a spectacular boat. If performance and luxury are your thing, then I'd encourage you to come down to Yacht's showroom, take a look at this boat. I'll put all of those details in the description. And if you've liked this video, please give the video a like. It really encourages me to keep making these videos. If you love looking at videos like this, I make one of these every week, so subscribe, because there's lots of fantastic boats. Really keen to show you, as well as the sister boat to this, which is the Shadow 300. But I think that's for now. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one next week.